Hey guys, and welcome back to Let's Play Bloodborne Kita Edition! Fishing Hamlet Edition. Something I was noticing when I was looking around that I forgot to point out was this little skeleton over here. So just, pay attention to the environment. I'll do what I can to point things out, but you should pay attention on your own. And right away to this headless guy who's hanging, which I think I pointed out last episode. If you do look at the environment too, you'll notice this ladder, and you can kind of be like, all right, looks like a potential shortcut to come. So, as you well know at this point, Bloodborne is a game to look at things, and you can see a guy in there who's roaming around, so you can start to see things that are going to come. And this is especially true in the Fishing Hamlet. Especially true here. I actually thought this guy looked like one of the creeper guys who has all the materials on him. Actually, it's been so long since I've recorded, I forgot what I used to call those guys. It makes me kind of sad. It makes me sad. There's actually not a huge amount of lore to talk about right off the bat, but I'll do my best to talk about it. I know sometimes people get hissy and pissy if I don't just purely talk about lore. Sorry, if there's nothing to talk about, I just can't. But we can't look at all these dead bodies that have little maggot things on them and appreciate the environment of Bloodborne and the amount of effort and detail that From Software puts into even their DLC. Which is something that I think is actually worth talking about too, is good versus bad DLC, and the fact that From Software in all of their DLCs so far for the Souls series, and I'm counting Bloodborne in that when I say the Souls series, has kind of just put a lot of other developers at shame in showing, like, this is how you make good DLC that's actually worth it. I don't think you could complain at all downloading this and say you were ripped off. It really is a great piece of content, and that's true of all the Souls content and DLC, Dark Souls 2 included. I know there's a lot of people who aren't big fans of Dark Souls 2, but I think a lot of people argue that the DLC for Dark Souls 2 is actually better than the vanilla game. And then Artorias of the Abyss is this DLC and Artorias of the Abyss DLC, people have argued over which they prefer. That's how much people have liked this DLC. And I'm putting that as a mark of, I consider Artorias of the Abyss to be one of the greatest DLCs I have ever downloaded. So that's where I rank that. Hey, you stop just hanging out and looking at things. Yep, I'm a jerk. I know. I only just noticed this. These barrels have fish in it. I don't care. Fuck you, fish. I was contemplating if I want to swear or not, because some people don't like when I swear, but I'm going to. Alright, some tampering blood gems. I just realized too, I still have a +9 saw cleaver. That's not smart of me. And I should probably test out my Moonlight Sword too, so I'm using various weapons and see how arcane works on these guys, because I haven't tried it. I'll wait until there is a better moment, because if we walk over here, you're going to notice what's chasing me here, which is the problem with this area. So that well has something not great by it that we're going to attempt to take care of as best we can. I tend to go for the bum rush method. I'm not saying that's the best method in the world, but that's my method. That's what I do, because you can kind of just rush to the side of it and take care of this guy who summons it, and it gets rid of it. So that's what I go for. When I say it's not the best method in the world, I mean, honestly, that I'm just saying that I haven't had a chance to test it out that much. I've had mostly good experiences with it, but I've only played this section. This is my second time playing this section of the game, so I haven't played it like a huge amount. These guys, by the way, are awful. These guys are really, really difficult. Oh no, I was too far away. I have trouble reading these guys, these shark beasts, personally. Oh god, oh god, oh god. Oh, that was close. Oh, that was way too close for comfort. It's because they have a lot of delay in their attacks. Oh geez, and that bum rush attack just obliterates. Oh my gosh, I hate these guys so much. Okay, nope. Oh, I thought I got it. Dang, that time was actually too early. All right. There. visceral you. I'm gonna make some delicious shark meat out of you and eat you. You sharkinoid, humanoid shark. That should be. It's like. Do you guys remember? Have you seen that cartoon that was out a long time ago? It was. I think it was a '90s cartoon. I can't remember the name of it, but it was humanoid sharks. I'll have to look it up and put a picture of it or something, because this is actually driving me crazy that I can't remember the name of it. But that's what those guys are currently reminding me of. I actually used to think those sharks were super badass. I was like, yeah, those sharks are so cool. I think they made toys of them too. They probably came in like McDonald's Happy Meals as well. This looks like a petrified statue of something. Actually, you know what it reminds me of is the statues that we see in Yahargul, but just with a lot of water on them and just like watered down. But it also has some mer features at the top, it looks like. It is hard to tell because of the water having distorted it. Again, nice detail in the environment from Software. Let's get that King Coldblood. I actually didn't notice this guy at first. I was kind of looking around. I don't know how I missed it. But good thing I made up for all those blood vials I used up. But yeah, I mean, I was kind of just talking about with DLC that I really do think From Software is a great example of how to make good DLC. I would also say that Bethesda does a good job in the sense of not pissing people off. I mean, they do the thing where you can download the DLC of the horse's saddlebags and things like that. But, you know, the fact that that's just like a DLC that's not like a required thing, it makes it fine to me, I guess. And I think they've also had some good DLCs as well, from my understanding. I can't remember if I downloaded a Fallout 3 one or not. I feel like I did, and it was pretty good, but I haven't downloaded any Skyrim ones. I'm not sure. I think there's Skyrim ones, right? I really got into Skyrim and dug it, and I was super into Fallout 3, but it's just been a while. I haven't played Fallout 4 yet, which is, as I was talking about last episode, which I really want to. I think it's funny when, like, there's kind of a war of Skyrim versus Dark Souls, and there's such different games now. And I wonder how many people really look back and think about it anymore, if, like, people legitimately cared a lot about Dark Souls versus Skyrim that year when both games came out. A lot of good games that year. That was 2011. There's also a new Zelda game that year, Skyward Sword, which I know a lot of people hate on that game, but something about it kind of connected with me in a way. It's probably my least favorite 3D Zelda game. But I think I like the character a lot. It had a lot of character to it, and a lot of heart to it, and I like that about it. Game design-wise, not so great, just because it was lacking in the explorable overworld, which has always kind of been one of my favorite features of Zelda games, because I like exploring things. But, yeah. Actually, speaking of which, for those of you who play Zelda, are Zelda fans, so there's a Link to the Past, and there was a Link Between Worlds, and a Link Between Worlds got a huge amount of praise. And I was actually not as impressed with it as most people, and that kind of leads back to me liking exploring the world of Zelda a lot and the various Hyrules that they come up with. I just really enjoy exploring, and A Link Between Worlds has a lot of good game design to it, in the sense of the dungeons are well designed, and it's good puzzles. It's good puzzle design specifically, I should say. I actually have some other qualms with its design, which I guess I could go into, although I don't know if anyone cares since this is Bloodborne right now. But it's something to talk about, all right? It's something to talk about. I can only say so much about the fishing Hamlet until we actually get to the points of lore. So Zelda: A Link Between Worlds shares the same overworld map as Zelda: A Link to the Past. And Zelda: A Link to the Past is my favorite Zelda game. So I've played it a lot. So I pretty much just have the map memorized. So then to play A Link Between Worlds and kind of essentially play the exact same map, it was lacking in that exploration feature for me. And I've talked to various people that I know who've played it, and people who were especially impressed with it were people who hadn't played A Link to the Past before. And I think part of that's because the overworld map is so good in A Link to the Past that it makes it really good in A Link Between Worlds, which is fine, but for me, it kind of took away that exploration that I really wanted. I feel like I'm missing something up here. I feel like I'm missing a pathway across one of these roofs that I want to take, but this could just be me having talked too much, in which case I apologize. I know that there is a pathway that I need to take at some point, though. We do want to eventually go up there. Oh, here we go. This is what it was. This has to be it. Get some Great One's wisdom. Finding some insight. I don't really think there's too much lore to the fact that that's there. I would imagine they just want to give you some insight. They do like to do that, where they place the lore all around, but like lore items, which is great, but I don't think of that one as a case of that. So if you remember that ladder we saw at the beginning, this is that ladder. You can see the lamp right over there. So we've now dropped it, so we have a bit of a shortcut. And we also have a upstairs building we can now walk into from here and check out. So we haven't been here before, so you want to be careful. You can see there's a guy over there. I think that's it. Oh, no, here we go. I was like, man, I felt like there's an ambush here. That's what I kept on thinking in the top of my head. And that's why, because he drops down. I really should have been... I was paying attention to the environment, but not the vertical environment plane. That's another thing I love about Soul's design, actually, is vertical level design. Oh no, I missed it. These guys actually have some pretty strong attacks, so you do want to take care of them. They can devastate you if you screw up. We get the Herald set. Let's take a look at it. And I guess last time I forgot to put on one of the sets, so I should probably do that, because so you guys can see what all these sets will look like, even if I'm not going to fully wear it the entire time. So let me equip my Herald set. Wait, was it not called just Herald something? There it is, Herald garb, Herald gloves, and our final Herald trousers. And you're going to recognize this is the guy that we've been chatting to. I actually missed a talk with him, a conversation with him last episode, and I apologize for that. My mistake. I'm sorry. Also, there was a crow last episode. The crow I mentioned last episode that I was like, I don't know if he has an item or not. That was at the very top of the rafters. Turns out he actually had an item. So he has he does have an item for you to get. He has a Carol rune, to my understanding, but not one of the best ones. So anyways, let's go ahead and read this. The Herald Hood. Certain church hunters obfuscate their identities and slip into the nooks and crannies of the city. This is the garb that allows these Herald individuals to go unnoticed. These hunters are keen to early signs of the Scourge, serving as a first line of defense against this outbreak, or perhaps when the time is ripe. They find signs of the Scourge where there are none, which just goes to show the corner beggar is not always who he seems. Also kind of reminds me, at least, of some of the characters that we've seen just in general Yharnam. Outside the character in DLC, who's a much more important character. These hunters are keen to early signs of the Scourge. This looks like it's the same description. Alright, so it's all the same description. But I also forgot to put on Maria's garb, so let's go ahead and wear Lady Maria's garb. Maria's hunter's cap. I'm gonna be beautiful, guys. Just you wait. Just you wait. Maria's... Actually, this looks pretty badass. I gotta say, it just looks like I'm a total gentleman here. Maria's hunter's trousers. Yeah, I mean, I just look like a Victorian bro, in a sense. Just Victorianing it up. I think I'll stick with this for a moment, actually. Show off my Victorian style. I feel like the Count of Monte Cristo, even though he'd be wearing black, but still... Like, I feel like it'd be something out of that. We got Bloodstone Chunk, always nice. And I think that's actually going to do it for this. Yeah, so then we just drop right down into this area where we've been before. And now we can further explore. Another thing, too, you might want to notice is you can actually go down this ladder. It is very risky. But I kind of want to take care of it now. If you can. If I die here, I'm not going to do it for a while. Something you're going to notice, though. See that guy right up there? Yeah, that's what this area is going to be. I really hope what I just put on is good defense. This area is hell to me. This is actually way worse. Oh, man, I should have just... I didn't trust myself. Did not trust myself. I think this is harder than, I don't know. This is so difficult, this one little spot. I hate it a lot. I really hate it. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, God. These... Oh. Oh, my God. I see I almost just died already. Almost lost. And just imagine, there's gonna be a second one coming down real soon. Oh! I really gotta just figure out how to time these out better. Okay. Honestly, I should probably just be going for the dodge. Especially when he does that. Especially when... No! Stop it! Stop it! Oh my God! Well, that was that. Oh no. Oh. Oh no. Oh no, no. Well, it didn't even matter. Oh. You don't need bosses where we're at. Alright. Trying to maximize. Doesn't matter. Oh no. No, no, no. I went the wrong way. Should... Oh. I cry a lot. No! Oh my goodness. Was not. You don't even deserve to be compared to a street shark, this show. Ah! Alright, so before I started this episode, I kind of was debating with myself. And that if I got to these sharks in this episode, did I want to face them yet, or did I want to wait until a different episode? Mainly because I'm so bad at facing them, and I'm so clearly bad at them, I was thinking, like, should I just save face and save it for a different episode? And that was kind of my, that was my internal debate. Do I want to save face or not, basically? Jeez, I'm so bad at them. Alright, there we go. But so my goal right here, by the way, is to try and get this guy to such a low health, like as low of health as possible before he goes to get his friend, which is what he's doing right now. And that's what my goal was, just right there, if you were curious. Oh my gosh. I mean, I did a good job, but he's such a... POS! Get out of... Oh my God! Oh my God, I'm so glad I rolled there. I just kind of rolled out of an instinctual feel. It's a Bloodborne instinct. You're kind of just born with it after a while playing Bloodborne. So, yeah. Okay, only one left. Only one left. I've kind of noticed that if you stick close to these guys, it seems to be much easier. You can kind of, they're less likely to do that jump attack, which is what's really dangerous. So sticking close to them is the way to beat them. Oh, I'm so glad I did it. Now, let's not pick up that item. We don't need that. How mad would you be if I just did not pick the item up after showing all these times I died? I'm just like, yeah, I don't really want it. Who cares? There's no reason I went here. We'll pick it up. We get the Rakuyo. And I'm definitely going to show this one off. If I can. So Rakuyo. Hunter weapon wielded by Lady Maria of the Astral Clock Tower. A trick sword originated in the same country as the Kanehurst Shikage. Only this sword feeds not off blood, but instead demands great dexterity. Lady Maria was fond of this aspect of the Rakuyo, as she frowned upon Bloodblades, despite being a distant relative of the queen. But one day, she abandoned her beloved Rakuyo, casting it into a dark well when she could stomach its presence no longer. So, I can't remember or not, I can't recall if we found out before that Lady Maria is a descendant in a way of Kanehurst. That's where she comes from. That's her bloodline. But I do think that's an interesting connection to Kanehurst. I also think that this is a really cool weapon. So let's go ahead and show it off. It's definitely one that I want to level up to. I definitely love dex style weapons. And this one feels nice. Trying to show off its moveset a little bit. If you have it out as a two-handed one, as you have it in both hands, L2 is going to do this awesome spin attack. You can't do jumping L2. You can do jumping R2, though. and a jumping R1. So there you have its moveset. So I found out, by the way, I don't think I mentioned it this time, but Street Sharks was the name of the show that I was going for. I was kind of just like screaming in the middle of my other failed attempts that these guys pissed me off so much they don't even deserve to be compared to Street Sharks. But this right here, if you notice, there's another cave up there. If you see that item, there is another way to get down here. And that's kind of where I was debating if I wanted to do this or not yet this episode, because I know I'm so bad at fighting those shark guys. I was like, do I want to do this and show that I'm so bad at these shark guys, or do I want to kind of just wait until another episode? And I kind of just decided while I was here, might as well just get it over with. I mean, I always... Clearly, I mean, you guys have watched my Let's Plays. I'm assuming most people watching this have watched my previous ones. And you'll know that I always do show my deaths. I don't hide away from that. Mainly, well, I mean, there's multiple reasons, but one of the reasons is I want people to realize, you know, as a YouTuber, it's pretty easy to just cut away and show, like, I could very easily cut the deaths out if I wanted to. But I feel like that kind of has... I don't like what that shows. I don't think that's real. And I want to show, like, I think I'm decent at this game. And I do want to show that even someone who, like myself, who's decent, makes mistakes. So people don't get discouraged if they make mistakes and they think, like, well, I'm just never going to be good. You know, like, it happens. Like, someone like myself who makes videos about this game, you know, I screw up too. I'm not saying I'm the greatest at this game. There's a lot of people who watch, I'm sure, are much better than me at Bloodborne. Don't get me wrong. But I hope the sentiment is there. Like, my point is there and not taken the wrong way. Oh, man. Oh, man. Okay, I did not do the right thing here. I made a lot of poor decisions in my life. I made a lot of poor decisions in my life. A lot of them. Oh, jeez! God. Oh, man. All right. Well, back to it. I'm going to quick cut this because you've already seen this part. You're like my version of Indiana Jones snakes. Like, sharks hate sharks. Even though so many less people die from sharks every year than the urban legend is. It's funny, if you actually look at statistics, like, your likelihood of dying to a shark is so low. I think I remember I was learning some statistics in a science class in, like, junior high. Or it must have been, like, maybe it was freshman year of high school. And you were actually more likely to die from your blindfolds, suffocating in your blindfolds, than you were by getting killed by a shark. So for people who are legitimately afraid of getting killed by a shark, just so you know, you are more likely to die by being strangled by your own blindfolds. So I cannot find where my blood echoes are. That's really why I went this route back instead of taking the short route up above. But I wanted them back just so I could start leveling up this new weapon, the Rakuyo. But I guess it's really not that big of a deal. I mean, I don't care that much. I'm sure I'll get them back just fine. Oh boy. Man, that fire was actually far more lasting than I thought it would be. Oh, it's probably that guy's throwing them. Yeah, I forgot about that guy. Oh. Forgot about this guy, too. I just got a giant spear sticking right through my body, which is fantastic. I like how it just stays there for a while, too. You just get to look at the fact that it's like, oh, yeah, screwed up there. Also, you get shark dogs now. Not only are there shark humanoids, now we get shark dogs. So all sorts of fish creatures at this fishing hamlet. And there you have another one over there. Acting kind of like the dogs that we've seen before, where it looks like he's almost smelling it out for the hunting party. Right, just like you see with the dogs in the vanilla game of Bloodborne over in Yarnum. I'd appreciate if you guys would get closer to me, because there's a shark dog over there. And I don't like that you have this advantage. I know you're hunters and you want an advantage, but I don't like it. I don't like it. Come on, shark dog. You're dumb. You're dumb. You separate yourself from your party. Never go alone. Never go alone. I learned that from the Witcher books. Even though Geralt always goes alone. Book 2. End of Book 2. Randomly. Random reference. I've been listening to the Witcher book on tapes. I gotta say, they're really good. Although, it splits off. At first, there's short story anthologies, and then it goes into main longer books. If anyone's curious to either listen to the book on tapes or read the Witcher books. And personally, I kind of prefer the longer anthologies. So, looking at the environment more, we start to see a little bit, some more fun details, like these skulls that are hung up. Again, kind of like a predatory type of skull to intimidate anyone who would come to this village and scare them away. Like, that's typically what those sorts of things were used for, is to scare potential people who would come to attack you away and show what you would do to them if they came and attacked you. So their goal was to do that to me. So far, they have failed. I mean, okay, they were very, very successful in the well, but outside of the well thing, not very successful. All right, I just happened to cheated in the sense of I already knew that this guy was up here. So in a sense, I'm kind of cheating. Normally, you wouldn't have known that right away. You'd kind of be looking and probably attack the spear-throwing guy over there and be like, oh, this is not good. And now we meet one of these ones that has the... This is where you're actually supposed to first meet this guy who has the giant metal hook thing to attack you with. Actually, it looks like an anchor to me. I think that's likely what it's supposed to be. Right? I mean, I assume so. It looks like an anchor. So, Street Shark, the TV show guy, with an anchor. Even though I don't think he's good enough to be a Street Shark. Hate him. Let's see how I do, how I fare, considering now that I know that there's not going to be a second one who's going to come to attack me. Not much butter yet. Not much butter yet. I can talk properly today. Yeah, now that I've dealt with that other one so much, dealing with the fact that there were going to be two, I am faring slightly better. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, that was almost bad. Until I couldn't see. That's sort of where I messed up one of those times, is because the environment got in my way. Die! I was worried. I was getting greedy there, and I almost screwed myself over. But fortunately, I stunned him. That's actually what saved me. Alright. Alright, I think that's the last Street Shark. I'm going to keep on calling them Street Sharks for now. And then that's also the last of those guys with the dark magic who's going to attack us. Or dark arcane, I suppose. At least I would consider it to be arcane. I could be mistaken in that. We're going to keep on wrapping around, though, and find this bloodstone chunk. If you look at where we are, you're going to see this beach over here. And this is actually another wraparound to... that's where we walked up. So we walked up over there, wrapped around to this side. And this, I believe, is the house that has the guy tossing firebombs down. There you can see the well. So, again, in my opinion, just really good level design. The fact that he has these little nooks and crannies. I'm assuming Miyazaki designed this. I could be wrong, but it's so good that I have to assume, since he did the level design for Demon's Souls, Dark Souls, and Bloodborne, I assume that he was involved in the level design for this. But if not, just the From Software team just did a really good design, or a really good job of designing the level here with the way it wraps around into itself. The vertical level design, and that's something I wanted to compliment before, too, with the guy who did ambush me. If I properly looked around and actually thought to look up, there's that vertical element that's always in these games so well, and that's what I respect so much about it, is that they really use the 3D plane. It's not so flat in its level design, and that's in every aspect. That's in where enemies are located. That's in how the world interconnects within itself, and all the levels interconnect. It's just so good. It feels real. It makes it feel like a living, breathing world, and I think it's just the level design in that sense that helps so much with it. All right, so we're up here now, and we get to look at this beautiful vista of this moon, the sun, the moon. Finding a grave too with a flower. Actually, it's another sunflower. So it's just like the sunflowers that we saw up in the Lunarium at the Healing Church. So that's actually really interesting that we're finding a single grave with one of those sunflowers. It's actually a detail that I didn't notice before that I'm only now noticing. Another detail I want you to pay attention to from up here, though, is we actually see something in the distance down there. And we're not sure what it is yet, but I mean, at least for me right away, I felt like that was a destination and somewhere I was going to be going to, because why else would there be something there? It's like when you see Bergenworth in the distance in the Forbidden Forest, in the Forbidden Woods, and you kind of just know right away that that's going to be somewhere you're going to have to go. So just because it's a location you can see. Again, something this game's really good at is the fact that when you see something like that, you end up being able to go there. Everywhere you see in the distance, you go, just like Canehurst Castle. All right, so if you notice down below, there's a noise, and it's actually our friend, and we're going to find him right here.
Who are you? I'm afraid I've made a botch of things. Oh, I can hear the bell now. The beast-eyed assassin. He's after me. Again. And again. It never ends.
Alright, so think about what he's saying here. With the beast-eyed assassin, he can hear the bell now. Who do we know who's been ringing a bell that we can't hear? He can now hear this bell, and he's saying that it was a mistake, and now he's getting hunted because of it. Something, this is bad that he can hear the bell at this point.
Please, I need you to do something. This village is the true secret. Testament to the old sins. It feeds this hunter's nightmare. Please, bring to an end the horror. So our forefathers sinned. We hunters cannot bear their weight forever. It isn't fair. It just isn't fair.
Alright, so this is in reference... Oh. Whoops. Didn't realize that was the exact moment when he dies. We get the Simon's Bowblade from him. So his name is Simon, and that's where it's like confirmed right there. We get Simon's Bowblade from him and the underground cell inner chamber key. Before I talk about that stuff, though, I do want to talk about he's referencing what we heard when we first walked into the Fisherman's Hamlet from that merman-type creature who was walking past, talking about how there was going to be a curse upon whoever came here and all of their disciples and all their disciples' disciples, and forever, this curse of blood. Forever. And this is the base of it. This is where it all came from. So, and then he's complaining that why should we have to suffer for the sin of our forefathers? And it's also, in a sense, when you think about it too, it relates to the real world as well, because you see that all the time, where people, in whatever capacity, for wars and battles, are mad at people because of what their parents did, or what their parents' did, or their forefathers, and they're mad at that certain person or people as a whole. And I'm not trying to get political. This is around the world. Like, I'm not talking about specific places here, and we've seen this throughout history too. It seems to be something that happens a lot, where people will blame someone because of what their ancestors did. And is it really fair? And to me, I think no, and that's what he's now complaining about here. But let's go ahead and look at Simon's Bowblade. Simon's Bowblade. And by the way, the reason I thought I needed more Blood Tinge too is because I thought the Rakuyo would use Blood Tinge. I forgot it didn't. It just uses Strength and Dexterity. This uses Strength and Dexterity and a little Blood Tinge for Simon's Bowblade. Choice weapon of Simon, one of the first Healing Church hunters. Simon despised firearms, and so the church workshop had this specifically fashioned to his liking. The large curved blade serves as a bow when transformed. Aside from a few close friends, Simon was scoffed at for his choice of arms. For who would dare face the beast with a measly bow? So let's take a look at it. And here you have it's R1s, it's R2, leaping R1. And think about this weapon, though. Oh, I should probably choose a charged R2 as well. So the thing about this weapon is if you transform it, and all of a sudden you get a bow. And if you press R1, it's going to be a fast shot. It does use a Quicksilver bullet. If you look up, you're going to use one per shot. If you choose L2, you can actually swing the bow. And if you hold R2, then you can shoot along a heavy shot. Yeah, so you can target as well. Heavy shot uses only one as well. So that is Simon's Bowblade. So we've actually got a bow and arrow back. which is pretty fun. So tons and tons of weapons in this DLC. So people who were upset that there weren't enough weapons before, and I'm saying that your complaints weren't unfounded, but it is definitely nice that they've addressed these complaints. As you've seen, there have been a lot of new weapons, so definitely a nice touch. We also have a lamp over here, and before everyone freaks out, let's also take a look at the key that I got, which I'm actually not going to use quite yet. We're going to use it later, but I think it's the... yeah, underground cell inner chamber key. Key to the inner chamber of the cell below the Grand Cathedral. The innermost chamber of the underground cell holds a lone madman. He wears a beast hide and rings a bell that emits no sound. Unending death awaits those who can hear the soundless bell. So this is referring to the guy who we saw before, who had the bell that you couldn't hear. You couldn't hear it ringing. And he's protecting the secret. And the fact that we are now in the Fisherman's Hamlet, which seems to be the horrible secret, and that's not what's caused Simon to die, might be a sign of things to come. Also, his name is Brador, too, just for anyone curious. Another thing is we can actually go... you're going to find a locked door this way. I'm just going to show that off for the sake of, just, you know, think about that. Again, this game does a great job of wrapping into itself, so that's kind of why I'm pointing that out. And we're going to go the one way that we can go. And I know I could go back to the Hunter's Dream, but that's okay. Let's just keep going forward. I'm still really mad at myself I didn't notice this detail before. I'm glad I'm noticing it now, the grave with the flower. But it does show a presence of the Healing Church. At least to me, that would indicate a presence of the Healing Church. Just the fact that that is there, since we see so many of those in the Upper Lunarium. And more specific, I guess not the Upper Lunarium, but the upper area of the Research Hall, where we found the living failures. Alright, so we're now hearing a bell ringing. Where from? I don't know, but we are hearing a bell. So here we have Brador has come to attack us. And you can tell that it's Brador because of what he's wearing. He's got that beast hide on. So Brador has come for us. Now that we have found this area that would seem to be the secret area that he didn't want anyone to find. Fortunately, he doesn't have that much health, so let's just obliterate the hell out of him. And he acts just like any invader. So he's invaded us, and if you remember from Simon, Simon mentioned he was getting relentlessly attacked by Brador over and over again, just like when someone rings their bell and decides to keep on invading your world. Bloodied armbands, let's take a look at them. And I'm not going to wear it until I get the full set. Actually, no, maybe I will. It's kind of fun. The bloodied armbands. Bloodied armbands. Brador donned, and there you get his name. Brador donned a compatriot's beastly scalp and hide while still moist with blood. Most of the bloodstains on this hide were from that day. Oh, this is way worse, though. Maybe I won't wear it. Sorry. Well, who cares? Who cares? Let's do it. Fashion-born. I like that. I actually think it looks pretty dope. I'm going to keep it on. So, for now, we've dealt with Brador, which is good, so let's keep on exploring. I do want you to look around and recognize, though, that this is not the same area that we were at with the well. So, bear that in mind. We're finding a ladder to go down, lots of places to explore. And these guys with these giant staffs, too, which we'll talk about a little bit later. But he drops a bolt damp gem, or a damp bolt gem. Some order of those words. If we do go up here, this is actually going to be the way to go eventually, so we're going to come back to this specifically because it's the way to go. And when you play an RPG, and I was talking about this with my roommate, I was playing, I guess this is a bit of a spoiler, but whatever. Oh well. So I was playing the next game I'm doing for my Super Show, and I guess there you go. It's another RPG, and it took forever. I finished playing it, thank goodness, because it took really long. I've been writing the Super Show, and I'm actually just about done writing it, and the writing's been going great. I'm actually really happy with how the Super Show's turning out so far, at least writing-wise. So I'm really excited for everyone to see it, just because the writing's been going so well. I'm hoping to start editing it soon and finish writing up, like, hopefully within the next couple days. I want to be done with the writing, be ready to start editing. Oh, dang. Oh, no, I should not have followed him down here. Oh, God. Oh, God. That was really bad of me. I got greedy. I really wanted those bloodstone chunks. Anyways, the whole point I was bringing up RPGs and JRPGs and all that stuff, and no one's gonna guess what it is. I don't care. You're not gonna guess the game. But anyways, the reason I was bringing it up though is because we were just joking about how the fact that it's funny that I kept on looking for the exact wrong route, and I was like specifically trying to go the wrong way multiple times to get items. And it's like anytime you play an RPG, that's kind of how you play an RPG. You always look for the way that you're not supposed to go. And it's just kind of funny in a sense. Also, if you notice this lightning too, and how I was talking about we've been getting those bolt damp gems. Lightning keeps on coming. I really shouldn't have fallen there. That was just bad on my part. Just not a good choice. Oh, okay. I'm gonna let you guys chase me. That kind of worked. In a weird way. In a very weird way. This little chase that just happened right now is actually expecting that I didn't think I was gonna get away with it. I thought I was playing way too dumb. I kind of got lucky. If I do say so myself. And anyone else? Okay, so see that guy right there? He's the one who's casting lightning. So, yeah, so that's, you know, he drops bolt damp gems and then he's going to spit out lightning at you. So it does make a lot of sense. A lot of sense. Oh, and we're hearing a summoning bell again. So, who could that be? Who's coming for us again? Only one bell I know about. Brador? Brador! Also, I think you're actually supposed to drop down into this spot, but... So, Brador is back. Also, you'll notice that he seems to have a blood-tinge-based weapon. Okay, I should stop doing that. I'm just gonna R1 spam instead. I'm going from one way of play that people hate, which is spamming shots, to another way people hate. We get the Beast Hide Garb. So, Beast Hide Garb this time. Let's go ahead and put this one on and talk about it. Even though I wanted to wait, but that's alright. The bloody hide of a horrible cleric beast pulled over the back. Without the attached beast hide, this form garb wouldn't raise anyone's eyebrows. Brador donned a compatriot's beastly scalp and hide while still moist with blood, and most of the bloodstains on this hide were from that day. So he killed a compatriot who turned into a cleric beast, is what that's implying. And here you have it. Now I've got a cleric beast on me. And I'm going to go ahead and wear it for a while, because why not? I know you guys get mad at me about my Blown Ash armor, because you guys are horrible. You're horrible. Blown Ash armor is the best! You can fall off the edge there, it would seem like. And again, we're seeing the, what looks to be... Yarnum. I can't tell what that's supposed to be in the distance there. It actually looks... Oh, I get it now. Okay, so see that right there? That's the church tower that we came from. So... That's actually pretty cool, so we can see that. And over there, I believe, is the direction of that thing that we saw, which would seem to be where we're supposed to head. Oh, I knew that there was an ambush waiting for me, but I couldn't remember which side it was. And that, as it turned out, I looked the exact wrong way and got incredibly lucky. All right, this guy, if he impales you, does a lot of damage. A lot of damage, be wary of him. You know what, I was going to sneak in on these guys and just do a visceral, but screw it. Figured that I'd wake them up because of the way I was facing. Alright, let's pick up a bloodstone chunk. And I do want to go back up top and come back to this in a moment, so I'm going to try to find the way back up. I think if I remember correctly, it's over on this side. It can't be up here since I tried. I like how I'm just casually walking around as a lightning bolter being shot at me. I'm like, whatever. It's just lightning bolts being shot at me. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. Okay. Wow. Wow. Holy crap. Oh my gosh. I was not expecting to get basically murdered right there. Alright. Well, okay then. That was great. Cool. Deal with you first. And hey, how about you stop shooting lightning at me when I'm climbing up a ladder, you ass? And throwing spears at me? Wow, okay then. That was great. Let me double check and make sure I didn't miss anything over here. I don't believe I did. I think all you're really supposed to do is cross over. So the smart thing to do would have been to drop down on this ledge, right? And not fall down there, and then you can go ahead and go this way and take out these guys on top so they can't snipe you from above. That would be the smart thing to do, and therefore not what I did. So, oh, okay, so you can fall down in here. Yeah, get up. Oh, man. Well, you can fall down where I just fell down. I was trying not to this time, but I guess that's fine. We'll finish exploring the bottom. Now that I've gotten rid of all the snipers, it's not as big of a deal. Oh, I thought I had it. Oh! Can't quite reach me, can ya? Can't quite reach me. And there are so many guys down here. I'm actually really lucky I survived, especially after falling down while there were still some snipers from above. Because I fell right into the heart of it. But they're taken care of, which is pretty nice. Alright, so let's make sure that there aren't any other buildings I haven't explored that I could be exploring. I always get worried that I miss something here just because it's a pretty big open space. And there's a lot I feel like you can miss. Alright, let's double check over here by this cave. It seems to be nothing. And we'll double check over here. Cool, also seems to be nothing. Well then, I guess I will keep going. Actually, screw these lamps first. I really thought there was more. I legitimately thought there was another item. But where I thought it was over in this area here. I think that there's something I'm missing up in that spot, so we'll go mid-tier, mid-level, and check and explore that way. Although I totally lost my train of thought, which hopefully is fine since I fell down from here. But good news is I'm actually, I kind of get mixed when I get to my writing portion of my super show. Sometimes I have a good feeling, sometimes I don't, and this is actually the most excited I've been in a while for the way the writing turned out. So I really hope editing wise and once I start shooting it and all that and producing it, it turns out as well as the writing feels, because sometimes things can be well written and be funny in the writing phase but then not translate as well once you transfer it over to an actual production. If anyone ever does production stuff. I've actually been dealing with that for some work stuff lately, where you just never know. Sometimes things are really funny the way they're written, and then don't come out well once you produce it, and then the exact reverse happens a lot of times where sometimes something comes out way better than you ever thought it could possibly be. So I'm trying to remember, like, how you get into this spot right over here, because I'm pretty sure it's this mid-level that has what I wanted. You'll have to excuse me for not just having this offhand knowledge that I should have. Well, I know right below me, actually, is that little area is running through, so I guess it's fine for right now. And then this ladder is actually going to take us right back up to where we were before. Maybe it's that you could get into it from up here? No, I'm not seeing a way. I am not seeing a way. If I drop down there, that's not going to work. Huh. Well then, let's just keep moving forwards. I'm sure if I made a mistake, I'll learn about it in the comments very well, and I'll feel super guilty and horrible about myself. Alright, so you're supposed to think to go across this way, but did that guy just fall off? He did just fall off. Something to notice too is this snail shell. You might actually recognize this shell and all these shells over here. So we've actually seen these before, and we saw these at the very beginning of the Hunter's Nightmare. I believe it was in my second DLC Let's Play area that I was pointing out one of these. But when we saw it before, there was a creature inside of it, and now we're seeing a lot of these snail shells. So definitely something to bear in mind. Is that we've seen these before, and it was different last time. And there's even a point of it. There was an event that happened last time where we saw like a little like creature slug thing crawling out of it. Also, we're seeing a lot of goopy things. Kind of look like eyeballs in a way, actually. Although I imagine that they're supposed to be fish eggs. So probably fish eggs, but it's just funny that they look a little bit like eyeballs, as fish eggs sort of do. Just given the theme of eyeballs in this game. I kind of wonder if that's on purpose or if it's just a coincidence. Because it honestly could just be a coincidence, but sometimes you gotta wonder. You gotta wonder. And do look around for ambushes, too. Always look around for those ambushes. Alright, so let's go ahead and open this up. This is going to be the way back. So that's the shortcut that we've now opened. And I'm actually... I imagine if I'm not overtime, I'm very close to being overtime. Because, again, I had a bunch of editing with me playing poorly and dying a bunch. So, I don't know exactly how well or poorly that turned out. Or, I mean, not well, poorly. I know it turned out poorly because I was there. I lived that experience. But, I mean, I don't know how long it turned out. Is what I meant to say. But we'll go ahead and take care of these guys first. So eventually what you want to do is go down this ladder, and that's where we're going to eventually be going. You can start to really look around and observe where you're going to have to go to before you go down there. But before I do that, I'll go ahead and take care of these guys and finish exploring at least. Nope, 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 nope. Want my stamina back, please. Oh. Nice. Yeah, and I'm actually going to go back to the Hunter's Dream and level up my weapons a bit. Partially because I want to go back to the Hunter's Dream. So something I was talking about last time was when I was trying to get the lady to say something different to me, whose name, I think, Adeline, excuse me. I was trying to get Adeline to say something different to me. And I kept on going back and forth. And I thought maybe it was a time-based thing and I wasn't sure. And apparently, according to a German spy, or Franz, who's a great dude, by the way. I had the chance to meet him at E3 in 2015. He's a great, great dude. If you don't know him, you should check him out. He's awesome, and he really knows his stuff. If you enjoy Let's Plays, Souls Let's Plays, he's definitely worth checking out. But anyways, apparently Franz was saying in his Bloodborne Let's Play, the DLC, that it's 3 times going back to the Hunter's Dream that triggers another event with Adeline. So I'm not sure if he worked on the Bloodborne DLC guide this time around. I imagine he probably did. He worked on the Bloodborne guide and the Dark Souls 2 guide, so it did Epic Namebro. Epic Namebro also worked on both. And Epic Namebro actually came back to the Bloodborne DLC guide and worked on that as well, which is why he hasn't been doing a Let's Play of the Bloodborne DLC. He's a little tired of it. So, cool. Let's see what I can level up at this point. So I'm kind of debating here between the Rakuyo and the Holy Moonlight Sword, since I've been leveling up the Holy Moonlight Sword. And I feel like I should keep on going Holy Moonlight Sword. Well, I don't know. I really like the Rakuyo. I'm going to level that one up more. Even though that means I can't level up all the way. So, alright, Rakuyo. Now I just got to add some stones to it. Let me repair my saw cleaver as well. Finally! I finally got a better blood gem for this. Finally! And what that also means, now that I've got some better blood gems in my saw cleaver, is now I have some better blood gems for my Rakuyo as well, which is going to be pretty nice. It's got a lot of thrust damage, apparently. Alright, imagining that's going to be the best one. And it indeed is, so... let's find... this one's looking pretty good for now. I just sniffed those out. That was just my thought. I was like, man, that one looks like a pretty good one. I imagine it's going to be the best. And it was, right away. Alright. 147, 152. Got 2 of those ones. Alright. Its attack seems to be much lower, though, than the saw cleaver. Well, let's see. 146 plus 152. 171 plus 233, so it is much less. I guess because I've kind of been going with a quality build, whereas this is very much a straight-up dex build. And if I've been just leveling up dex, this might actually be a lot stronger. Because if you look at this, this has an A in terms of dexterity scaling, and then a D for arcane. And I haven't been, so if I've been going dex, this would be great. Whereas this has a C for strength and a D for dex, and I've leveled up my strength a decent amount with a D in arcane as well. But yeah, if you just go straight dex, here you have a new dex weapon that's purely dex. It does seem a lot like the Mercy Blades in a sense. They do seem very similar in style and moveset, which is also a dex weapon. So you're getting some similarities there. Actually, I'm fine with that. I don't think there's anything that's going to be new here, if I'm not mistaken. Nope.
Well, what? Very well then.
Not even close.
Fair.
Alright guys, well thank you so much for joining me on this episode of the Bloodborne DLC for Hunter's Nightmare. And I imagine next episode is going to be the last episode. That would be my guess here. That's my hunch. So we got a bunch to do. We got Brador who's attacking us. We have a couple jail cells to unlock. We still have more to do with Adeline. And then we've got the rest of the Fisherman's Wharf. So we got to really dig in and find what was this secret, because we still haven't quite discovered it. We just know that we're getting close. We're on the verge. So thank you guys so much again. I will see you guys next time. Later, guys. Oh, that was not right. Kita, what are you doing? Oh, no. Later, guys. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.